Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Takedown, a Splitting Hairs podcast brought to you by Jackrabbit Illustrated, where we focus on South Dakota State wrestling. I'm Chad Myros, and today I'm joined by Jordan Schoenrock, my co-host, and our special guest, Cody Caldwell. Cody, glad to have you. Thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've been wanting to have you on a bunch. I don't know if you watch the podcast, but it's definitely I got to meet you one time briefly at Pizza Ranch down here in Sioux Falls, and it's good to talk with you. So Jordan, you got a first question for Cody?
Sure. My phone just blew up over here before this is a little off the thing here. Kate DeVos wants me to start off by asking you, what's this neck brace you're wearing in practice right now?
Those are the best kind of questions.
He's gonna do me like that. Oh man, I thought what stayed in the what happened in the wrestling room stayed in there, but no. So back in college, I had a neck injury that unfortunately ended my senior year. I ruptured my C5-6 disc in my neck. It was pretty significant. I have an artificial disc put in, so I had surgery. Was off the mat for a year, and have slowly progressed back into wrestling. I mean, this is multiple years ago now, so I've been wrestling and scrapping on a regular basis. And AJ Neville's, that's what happened. That's what the neck brace is because. But no, rolling around with him one of those days this preseason, and he is a big human being and just caught me wrong, and I just felt a shooting pain down my neck and my arm, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna risk this, and I took some time off the mat, and I'm like really getting the itch to get back. So our fearless trainer Leah Kroger got me hooked up with a neck brace that I've been wearing so that I can get in there and still roll around. But the guys like to give me a hard time about it, so probably rightfully so. But hey, the sacrifices us coaches make for our athletes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. And I know that's common in wrestling to have some neck injuries. So I know that there's other coaches that have kind of had to retire for those same reasons. So how about a favorite or a most special moment that you've had in wrestling, either as a coach or a wrestler?
There are a number of them to choose from. Um, you know, favorite memory. I would say, I have some, as a competitor, but I would say some of the biggest ones come from my coaching career, right? Because I've been able to get my hands on a lot of guys and been a small part of, a lot of big successes. I look at, I've spent a lot of time with a guy like Tanner Sloan, and for him to kind of burst on the scene and, make a junior world team and be able to go over to Estonia with him and take that experience in was very memorable. I've been fortunate enough to learn from a guy like Coach Hahn, and he continues to put me in positions where I'm able to learn and grow as a coach. So, to pick one specific one, it's tough. And you know what? I think being a part of this program, some of the best memories are ahead of us. So I'm really looking forward to the future of Jackrabbit Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got to be kind of special, with your background and your dad being a wrestling coach, to be able to maybe understand in some ways what he went through as a coach, and how special it can be to have your guys succeed. How's that for you, transitioning from a wrestler to a coach?
Absolutely. And, looking back, I maybe didn't know going through it when I was growing up, but my dad kind of groomed me to kind of be a coach, to put me in different situations, whether it was in high school working with younger little kids, or in college bringing me back and having me run camps and clinics and things like that. So he definitely put me in a position to kind of further myself as a coach. And I still value my relationship with my dad greatly, and I call him and pick his brain because he is one of the best to do it. He had a lot of success as a coach at Waverly Shell Rock in Iowa. They set the team record back in the day. which still stands to this day. But and he's in multiple Hall of Fames and things like that. So I joke with him often that, hey, by the time it's all said and done, I'm gonna there's going to be more Hall of Fames and hardware in my trophy case. But no, he's an awesome individual and a guy that I am truly grateful for, and is still a big part of my life and my coaching career.
Yeah, and he used to wrestle down at Knoxville, and maybe those people that are watching aren't aware, but Jordon and I are both pretty big sprint car fans.
Yes.
And that's what that's why he's in a truck right now. He's on his way down to Texas to go to some races.
Heck yeah. No, that's awesome. So you guys, I'm sure you've been to the Knoxville sprint car races.
I go every year religiously, have for many years.
Okay.
Jordan's usually in the pits for like 360 nationals, right, Jordan? Yeah, we're losing him.
I've worked the 360 nationals a bunch, and then I do got one bone to pick with you here, though. You got to get your dad, your grandparents, everybody here involved, because I didn't really like seeing the Iowa Hawkeyes on the front straightaway on Saturday night this year. They introduced them as the team champs or whatever. So SDSU's got to step up the game.
Yeah, we need to make that change for sure. For sure, we need some Jackrabbit stuff around there. But yeah, my grandparents, they still live in Knoxville. My dad used to work the Knoxville races, and they're a blast. They're awesome. So I'm sure you guys have spent some time at Django's.
Mostly just across the street.
What is that place called?
That is I can't think of it. The
Dingus.
Yes, Dingus. That's what you meant.
I knew it was a D and it was an odd name, but yes, okay, that's what I meant. I'm sure you've spent some time there. So yeah, that place is always hopping during the sprint car races.
Yeah, Dingus is all right. So can you tell me, I know what a Hawkeye is, but what's a Gohawk?
Okay, it's funny you asked me that, because my wife just asked me that the other day, because we've been together for years, and finally she's just like, what is a Gohawk? And so a Gohawk is a gopher Hawkeye, and so it's a mix. So it's kind of like a mythical creature, I guess. But Waverly is halfway between Minneapolis and Iowa City, and so Gohawk. Basically, the mascot looks like a hawk. Obviously, that's what everybody thinks, but that's supposed to be the reasoning behind it.
That is interesting. I'm glad I asked that. Not the explanation I expect, for sure.
No, for sure.
Do you have a favorite weight class? A weight class that you like to watch in general terms? I mean, maybe it's the one that you wrestled at in college, or maybe something else, and why would that be, I guess?
I don't know about a particular weight class. College wrestling has evolved so much over the last 10 years. So I mean, all of these weight classes are loaded. A lot of those middleweights always have some strong competitors and truly just athletes, right? That you think of the Yannis, the Sassos, the people like that. Like, every time that you watch those middleweights, there's going to be a scrap, and some of the positions and things that they end up in are crazy. And even looking at our All-American, Clay Carlson, he's one in the mix right now, and he has established himself and is always fun to watch compete. Not necessarily because he's the most technical or funky, but the guy wrestles a pace, and what you're going to get with him. So probably those middleweights. I know to some of those upper weights, and myself, and even Han and Simez, I don't think they'd probably disagree, but that's probably what I enjoy watching, and but hey, as long as they have a Jackrabbit singlet on and they're getting their hand raised, I'm all right.
Indeed.
The good old Team Grit there for Clay.
Team Grit, man. He is a madman. We all thought he was good last year. Waiting for him this season. I've been able to witness him in the room just mauling guys and really taking that next step. And I think that him getting on the podium has really instilled that extra confidence that was needed for him to kind of take that next step. And hey, now he's very much not thinking about just getting on the podium. It's how high can I get? And there's no doubt in my mind that by the end, when it's all said and done, that will be at the top of that podium.
So as kind of a follow-up to that, is there anything you think Jack's wrestling fans should be on the lookout for this season, like a breakout wrestler or someone that maybe not may not be as obvious to one of the more casual fans? Someone
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of guys. You can go up and down the lineup, but I think what's going to be big to some of our fans is we do have a lot returning, but they're all different weight classes. A lot of them, you have a number of guys. You have a guy like Zach Price who was 133 pounds, who was going up to 149, and it's no secret that's what he's doing. He's built his body up, and I think it's going to be a huge benefit for him. And he's had a great off season, a great preseason, and I don't think the weight is going to be an issue as far as wrestling those bigger, stronger guys. Having a guy like Tanner Cook back in the lineup is huge. We missed having him last year, and he has truly been a pleasure this off season and preseason. Just his focus and willingness to kind of do whatever it takes. I think it hurt him last year. Not being in the lineup, not being able to put that singlet on and compete with his teammates. I think it hurt, and you know what, it should have. And he's used that in a really great way and really grown and matured from it, and is in a position where he's ready to compete. And you know what? No one is safe when you wrestle a guy like that. No one is safe. So, and the last one that you got another guy change weights with Cade DeVos. He's going up to 174. Was at 57. So we have multiple guys jumping a couple weight classes, and he's bigger and stronger than he's ever been, and has developed greatly. So excited for those guys to kind of be tested at a different weight class. And I really think Jackrabbit Nation will like what they see.
right. So any particular duel that you look forward to in a year, other than, I mean, I guess NDSU is an obvious one, but you being a UNI guy, how's that work out? How do you feel about that? And I that place has got to be a little special to you, but does it feel better to beat them? Or tell me a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen we have a tough schedule. It's brutal, and you know what? It is because it's what is required of us a little bit, but it's also by design to help us be battle tested once we get to Detroit, the national tournament, the Big 12 tournament. So we're going to have plenty of opportunities to wrestle some of the top competition, and our guys will be ready. We'll be ready come March. We have a lot of great duels. You talk about the UNI duel. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It was a little bit odd, a little bit different the first time that we wrestled them, and that was back, 4 years ago now. I just finished my fourth season, wrestling them, and because I look across the mat, and that's the guy that used to be cheering for me. That's the guy that was encouraging me, and now he's screaming at his guy to beat my guy down, and so it was definitely a change, a difference, but there is a mutual respect there, but it is a little bit more intense, I guess, when we compete against them. I don't know why, but I feel like I look over in their corner. I feel like Coach Schwab is yelling straight at me. I feel like he's constantly staring me down, and while he's yelling and screaming, but it's competitive. It's we make each other, our programs make each other better, right? And we're both similar, as in we're both mid majors, and hey, they want to win at the highest level, and so do we. And so that rivalry's fun. It's one that hey, I enjoy. I know that it's going to be intense. It's going to be a lot of emotions, and we've enjoyed that one. It was fun to go to West Gym and wrestle there, and we came out on top of that duel. But it was different. It's weird. But hey, I'm a jackrabbit through and through now. Yeah, I cherish some of those memories at UNI, and Coach Schwab and Coach Roper and those guys did a lot for me, and I'm truly grateful for them. And wish them the best, except against the Jackrabbits.
All right. Yeah. So year 4 are going to be year 5, right?
Yeah.
And you've been through 2 head coaches. Can you talk a little bit about the differences there? I mean, both guys have little different styles and personalities. Maybe a fun anecdote about one or the other. And it's got how tell us a little bit about how that transition was for you, because that's got to be, that's different. And I would guess that you're maybe some questions in your mind how that would go for you. So maybe just tell me a little bit about that, or tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, for sure. I've been fortunate enough to learn under 2 different coaches. When I first was brought here, the previous staff, Bono, brought me on and gave me an opportunity, which I will forever be grateful for. Kind of got me into the game, and because hey, it's Division I wrestling. There's 77, 78, 8 programs. There are limited coaching positions, and for me to get in at 20, 25 years old was something that I'm grateful for. But definitely two completely different coaching styles. When that transition happened, it was tough. It was really hard. But looking back on it, I'm thankful for it. Right. It was kind of a situation where, the previous staff was moving on. I didn't know if I was staying, if I was going, what was happening, a lot of uncertainty. And, I was kind of left to kind of man the ship, kind of, I had to either it was sink or swim, and all while knowing that I don't know if I'm going to have a job, right? Because the next guy can easily, say, hey, you know what, we're going a different direction. We're bringing our own guys in. So that was tough. It was tough. It was a difficult situation, but I learned a lot through it. And I was put in a position where, I had to do some of those head coaching duties, not just running practice, but administrative and dealing with fans and boosters and planning and scheduling and all of these different things. And looking back, I'm so grateful for it, because I learned a lot through that process. It kind of put me in a position where, like I said, sink or swim. I had to, or I felt like I was failing and failing this program. And so I learned a lot through that process. It was I'd be lying if I said it was easy. But Coach Hahn, he came in, interviewed for the position, and I knew that he was the guy they wanted, right? And I didn't know Coach Hahn. He sure as hell didn't know me, right? And so he came into my office, and I remember it specifically, and I've told it many times, but he came into my office and he was like, Cody, I've heard good things about you. What are your plans? And I'm like, hey, Coach, I want to stay. I want to be here. I believe in this program and the things that we can do. We were 12th the season before at the national tournament. I'm like, that's not the ceiling. We can do better than that. Like the community support, the support within our administration, like big things are coming. And I'm like, are you going to keep me? I straight up asked him, are you going to keep me here? And in that moment, he told me he didn't know. And as much as I wanted him to say, hey, yeah, let's go to work. You're in, you're staying. He was honest with me. He was upfront. He was real with me, and he gained my trust in such a short period of time. And for him to do that and be honest with me, he told me that he needed to do his research and talk to the guys on the team, talk to the people in the community, talk to the people involved in the sport of wrestling. As we all know, it's a very small, tight-knit group of people. And fortunately, they didn't have too many bad things to say about me. And he kept me on staff. And you know what? It is the best thing that has happened to me, and to not just me, this program, and the future of Jackrabbit Wrestling. I'm truly grateful for Damian and what he brings to this university and this wrestling program. And I mean, he puts me in positions where I can continue to learn and grow, and instills in me those attributes that help me to continue to be the very best that I can be.
Well, we certainly, or at least I for sure, and all of Jackrabbit Nation that follows wrestling, I'm sure, appreciate the work that you did to keep things going while you were more or less the captain of the ship. And we're all really glad you did stick around. I don't think that's unfair to say. So thanks for that.
Well, I appreciate that. And, honestly, like that I wanted to be here. Right. For people like you guys, that the support, the community, like it's truly unmatched, and you don't find that in a lot of places. And so, hey, I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Awesome.
Cody, can you talk about what it was like your first year here? We have Seth Gross become the first national champion in Division I. You had national champions at your school before in NIA. Can you kind of talk about like what that was like, and then going to, unfortunately, kind of a rebuilding year with Bono and them leaving? I know you just like touched on how and them taking it over and what you did, but like how mentally did you have to like prepare yourself from coming off having a national champion in the room and then him getting hurt and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being able, it's something that is very memorable, right? To be able to, that year was awesome. As far as success and accolades, we had Luke Silverberg, who was an All-American, who is fortunately still around today, helping with Jackrabbit Wrestling. You had David Kocher, who's an All-American, and Nate Roeder, who was a Big 12 champ, who I spent a lot of time with. And then Seth, right? I mean, he became the figurehead of South Dakota State Wrestling, and for him to be a national champ at a place, that probably many didn't expect that it would happen, and he did that. And awesome feat, awesome accomplishment, and yeah, I was able to sit in the corner, which was really great. In the end, Seth did the work, and he developed, and he built himself into the competitor he is today. So which was awesome, to see that and be able to witness it, on the big stage is something that's very memorable. And so it was something like I've never experienced before, for sure. And I was at Grandview, which is a dynasty in NAIA wrestling. I was fortunate to coach under Coach Mitchell, who has won 9 national titles, and I was able to sit in the corner of some national champs and things like that. The Division I national tournament it's just different, right? I mean, the people, and hopefully this year we're back to a normal season, but the people, the fans, the atmosphere is unmatched. And if anybody's on here that hasn't been to a Division I national tournament, like, you need to get there, because it is amazing. And so yeah, I mean, it was awesome, and then after that year, well, it was a transition. The cupboards were left pretty bare. I think the biggest thing to note is just the progress, right? That first year that Damian took over, we won 3 duels, and to be honest, I don't know how we won 3 duels. We were 3-10. We were 10th in the Big 12, which is not good. There are 12 teams in the Big 12, and we were 10th. We had 1 national qualifier, no All-Americans, and then to go from that to the next year, we were 12-6, I believe, and finished 4th in the Big 12 and had 4 national qualifiers. And then this past year, having 5 national qualifiers and an All-American. I mean, the progress is something that is something to take note of. And the system that Coach Hahn has brought, and it works. And hopefully people are able to see that, and we'll continue to see the growth and more accolades and success. And producing solid young men as they go out after college as well. Because hey, you can have all the success in the world, but if we aren't developing good people, we aren't doing our jobs. And so that is how we run the program. That is how Coach Hahn, sees things. And I think we're doing a good job, and it will continue to show and pay dividends.
So as an assistant head coach, can you walk me through a little bit of your responsibilities? I believe you're pretty involved with the recruitment process and things like that. Just walk me through what you kind of do, if you would.
Yeah. So, the other assistant is Coach Simaz, and then we also recently brought on Brady Berge. And so we all kind of have our roles, right, our different areas that we kind of oversee. I do a lot of recruiting, right? That's not to say that the other assistants or Damien don't do recruiting, because they very much do. But I enjoy it. I like it. I enjoy developing these relationships with kids and families, and finding the right fit, and not just for them, but for us, bringing in the right kids. And so, yeah, that's definitely a piece amongst all of our staff, and one that I truly enjoy. Also, I do compliance stuff, so that's not as fun as recruiting. Just like paperwork and making sure that we're doing things right and in line with NCAA regulations, and then furthermore, working with guys development, right? Our staff puts a huge emphasis on development of our student athletes. And so we do a lot of individual work where we're in the room breaking down technique and positions and things like that. And then we're always fundraising. So that's another piece, and one that has really done well for us, with this new facility being built.
What is your when you're gonna give us a little sales pitch here on what you saw with the recruits about Brookings?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm recruiting you, Jordan. I'm recruiting you right now. All right. Well, the biggest things that we sell to these kids is the people, right? The relationships that they're able to develop, and the community, right? Brookings is South Dakota State, and South Dakota State is Brookings. Even the surrounding areas, there is no pro sports team in South Dakota. So I mean, South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits are kind of the one-hit show, and you see it by the crowds and the support through social media and all of those things, and really being cared about, right? You're not just another athlete of hundreds that is walking around. Like you're important, right? We joke, but I mean, some of these kids are like celebrities around town and things like that. And you know what? For them to work so hard and put in the time and effort, that's cool. Like that, they're being rewarded for those things. So the community, the people, also the campus, right? Being a smaller, tight-knit campus, we feel like that's a good thing. We feel like they have the necessary resources to do well both academically and athletically. And it is a family atmosphere, right? You look at our leader, Justin Sell. He is one that he has done a great job with all athletics, and he believes in wrestling. He believes that wrestling can win at the highest level. And there are teams, programs that do not have the support that we do of our athletic director, and for that we are truly grateful. And other than that, being able to compete at the highest level, right? Being able to compete at the highest level. I mean, being in the Big 12 conference, and being able to wrestle for Big 12 titles and All-American status is something that you can do here, and we take pride in that.
Touching a bit on what you said about the celebrity status, Matt Tollefson says, what other wrestling program puts up cardboard cutouts of the wrestling team around town? And I don't know if anybody else does. Do they?
Matt, you're exactly right. I don't know who else does, because we do that. You'll start seeing them Monday before the week that we wrestle Augie and Northern at home, and the DAC is that Sunday. But you'll see them. You'll see them at Codys. You'll see them at Hy-Vee, Subway. Hey, they're everywhere. And so it's a fun little thing. But hey, our community, Brookings, hey, they want to support these kids and this university and their athletic team. So our guys think it's a cool thing too. They'll get pictures of people taking selfies with them and whatnot. And kudos to them. Like they have put a lot of time and effort into this sport, and to be recognized for that is something special and happens at South Dakota State.
Maybe tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the new practice facility and what that's going to offer, maybe the program, new recruits, and the future for Jackrabbit Wrestling.
It's going to completely change the game. Being to first build off of that, like Damian Hahn, for him to be able to come in here with not a ton of money in the bank raised, and for him to come in and raise $4.5 million, like that's huge. That is huge, and it's huge for him, but also it's huge to show the support of this wrestling program. And this was built on the backs of alumni and wrestling people, right? This wasn't the university just gave us a handout of $1 million. That's not the case at all, which makes it even more special to us. And it's going to change the game. I mean, we're recruiting, like this past class was recruited with the expectation to have this room here in the very near future. And so you look at that, we were as high as 10th in some polls as far as recruiting class for this 2021 class. You can see that is attractive to kids, right? A lot of times it's these kids want the nice shiny thing, right? And you know what? This is going to be 18,000 square feet wrestling facility, right? It's not a wrestling room; it's a wrestling facility. 4 full mats, strength and conditioning, cardio, coaches' offices, team room, team lounge, recovery center. Like it's going to be the one-stop shop, and it's going to pay huge dividends, not just for the development of our own guys, but it's attractive to recruiting too, right? We're getting some dang good recruits right now. Wait until we're able to get them on campus, show them South Dakota State, show them the community, and then you go and you look at this 18,000 square foot wrestling facility. Dang, man, that's something that is impressive. So if anyone has seen our wrestling facility now, it is not impressive whatsoever. We get the job done as far as working out and practicing. A lot of times we have to go 2 groups when we wrestle live and do those things, but it's very much needed. Like it was needed like a while ago.
20 years ago for sure.
But hey, better late than never. They're breaking ground on it too. You can go by there and see them digging out there. Damien might be out there with his hard hat. Who knows? Because he's constantly over there pestering them. Heck, the last 2 days he's tried to get me and Simaz and Bergie to walk over there. And I'm like, it's cold outside. Like I'm sure they're fine working over there. But he is passionate, and as he should be. So.
Matt also asked that it just started, and he was curious about a completion date.
1 year. So
aggressive schedule. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's what we're being told. Frank Kurtenbach and his family, the main benefactor, who graciously donated. He wants to do the ribbon cutting ceremony on his birthday, which is like September 10th or something. So let's not disappoint him or Frank or his family, and let's get this thing done. So it's an exciting time.
If they're gonna get it done by then, yeah, you, Cam, Brady, you guys better go talk. You guys just leave Damien in the office, because you know how well that goes when he gets around people.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like, hey, I'm sitting in my office today. I'm like, it's 2 hours later. I mean, where's Damien at? Oh, he's over at the facility when it's freezing cold out there, trying to see what's going on. So no, yeah, for sure, he's a talker, and which also makes him such a great coach, because he truly develops relationships with people, and it's genuine, right? It's not some used car salesman. He truly cares about people, and wants the best for those around him. So, awesome guy. And yeah, they're heck, they might not be getting work done because he's out there talking to them. So we might have to pull them back.
Yeah, he's a great interview. I can tell you that, because all I have to do is ask one question and sit back for half an hour.
Yeah,
it's not a knock. I actually enjoy it,
100%.
to listen. There's no doubt that having him as your head coach, you'd want to go to battle with that guy every day. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to have that feeling, right, Cody?
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's nobody better in the business. He's a guy that I trust, and we as a staff trust him as our leader, and we'll follow him, into the next stages of this program. And I don't have anything but positive things to say. I mean, he has a track record that speaks for itself. Not just his competitive career, but his collegiate coaching career. Having learned under Rob Cole, who's one of the greatest, and he knows what he's doing. Damian knows what he's doing. I believe in him wholeheartedly, and yeah, I'm grateful to work for him. So.
Tell us a little bit about your interactions with Brady so far. How's he coming on board, and how great is it to have him and a different perspective in the room?
Yeah, no, it's great. We love having Brady. Coach Dardanes was here before, and took a position in Perry, actually in Iowa, as a head coach, and we wish him the best. We still love and care about Dardanes, and wish him the best. Brady came in. He's been here for a few months now, and is doing an outstanding job. He brings a different perspective, right? Having come from Penn State, he spent 4 years in that program, and learning under one of the best coaches and programs. He has really developed a system and things that work for them, and bringing some of those things over to us, and kind of trying to put together the best product we can. But he's a worker. He is one that you tell him to do something, he's going to do it. If he doesn't know how, he's going to find a way to do it. Very technically savvy as well. Great in the room, and showing guys, and helping develop. And he's really starting to get involved with some of the recruiting things as well, which I think he's going to be really, really good at, just as far as, texting kids and staying in touch with them and interacting with them when they're on campus. But I have so many positive things to say about Brady. We're truly grateful to have him, and he is the guy to help us continue to move towards this program's goals. And yeah, I think he's loving it too, right? He's fresh out of college, and has really taken a liking to the coaching side, and has already made waves. So excited for his future with us.
Great. Yeah, we're excited to have him.
So, I mean, we touched on the new wrestling room, but like, what are you gonna, how do you recruit like this new arena coming into the kids a little bit too? Like, not only do you get a new room, like we're redoing your whole competitive area too.
Yeah, I mean, it's another draw, right? It's another draw. That is something that these kids can be attracted to, and having the new Frost Arena, the First Bank and Trust Arena, it's going to be like a professional arena. And so, hey, you know what? You've got one of the top 5 facilities in the country that you're training in on a daily basis, and then furthermore, you get to compete in an arena that's unmatched. In regards to being able to compete and do those types of things. So I think it's just another selling point, and even more than just the glitz and glam of it. I think it is, you see the investment from, the athletic department and the university into the athletic department, right? I mean, I forget what they said, but it's been millions and millions of dollars that have been invested into athletics since Justin Settle has gotten here. And, that doesn't happen everywhere. I'd be hard pressed to see many programs, many universities that have invested the amount of funds into their athletic department as we have. And that just comes to show that, hey, athletics are a priority, right? It is important. And hey, when you have the backing of not just a coaching staff, but not just fans and boosters, but if you have the backing of your administration, some pretty special things can happen. And that's exactly what we have at South Dakota State.
Did you know Justin at all back in your UNI days?
I did not.
Curious about that.
I think I missed him by 1 or 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So, but grown to develop a relationship with him, and
He's a great dude. Yeah.
Awesome guy, and he works his butt off and is a wrestling fan too. He's actually won. I don't know if you remember the national duels that were at the Unidome in Cedar Falls. So he was the one who kind of first got that into action, and so he grew a love for wrestling pretty early. So we're very happy and thankful to have him.
I know he attends all the duels that he can.
Oh yeah. And it'll be, when we're winning trophies and doing those things at the national tournament, there's no doubt that he'll be there.
So we really jumped into the meat right away, but I'd like to jump back just a little bit, if you'll indulge me.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you talk a little bit about the process for you that led you to coming to NDSU and what that journey was like for you, and maybe a little bit of what transpired that made you get to where you are?
Yeah, well, so I graduated in 2016 from UNI, and I took a grad assistant position at Grandview University and in Des Moines. And as I said, they're a storied program in NAIA. And I had a previous relationship with Nick Mitchell because he wrestled at Wartburg, which is in my hometown of Waverly. And so I was able to learn and grow as a coach under him and his tutelage. And it was supposed to be a 2-year program. And so our first year, we set the point record in NAIA. Had I think we had 10 All-Americans and multiple national champs. So it was insane. It was awesome, right? Like being that dominant. And I was supposed to have another year. And that was at the time when Coach Shop ended up taking a position at Purdue. And then I got the call, from Bono, and he was at Iowa State and had developed a relationship with my family and whatnot. And he asked me if I wanted to come check things out and offered me the position. And fortunately, Coach Mitchell and staff were very supportive. They understood that this was an opportunity that was tough to pass up, and my professors thankfully were allowed me to finish my grad school remotely, so I was able to get my master's and do those things from Brookings. But that's kind of how that transpired, I guess. And it's crazy to look back on. I mean, just so much has happened in the last 4 years. It's crazy that I'm about to start my 5th year with this program, and being in Brookings. I met my wife. We got married last October, so that's been
congrats, by the way.
Thank you. That's something that's been very positive to come out of my time here, and yeah, I mean, things are good. So.
You look pretty sharp in a suit, I must say.
Thank you. Thanks, Chad.
I don't normally see you that way, but I've seen your wedding pictures. Looks good, man. Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man. That made my day. So I'm gonna make sure I tell my wife that.
I mean, she looks good too, but
yeah.
I'm not really commenting on how a female looks.
Right.
Leave that at that.
Hey,
she looks good
I'll
too.
I'll take it for sure.
I got $1 million question, Cody.
Let's hear it.
So, if you would have to redo this wedding, keep it like it was, big wedding. I mean, COVID kind of wrecked the big wedding, or destination. Which one would it be?
Oh, so many don't know the background, but Coach Juan gave me a hard time because Oh my goodness. He wanted me to do a destination wedding, like bad. Like he wanted to go
He
on
just wanted to go somewhere, didn't
he
he?
wanted to go on a trip, vacation, sun, like all of it, just a big like celebration. And uh that's not what me and my wife had planned. And Damien was actually going to be in my wedding. And so my wife, she's from Eden Prairie, so we were going to get married in downtown Minneapolis, which sounded like a great idea at the time.
Wasn't going to happen during COVID.
Oh my goodness, not during COVID, and there were a number of things going on. That was not the place that we wanted to do it. We tried moving it back. COVID was still around, and yeah, so we ended up just having a small ceremony in my backyard in Waverly, Iowa. My little sister was our wedding officiant. And it was great. It was great. Exactly what we needed. But if I was to go back, you know what, I don't even want Damien to hear me say it, but yeah, I'd probably do a destination. It sounds pretty dang good right now because we didn't get to have a honeymoon or do anything like that. So it'd be nice to go on a trip. And
There's still time to do a honeymoon, Cody.
yeah, I know. It's just yeah, we'll do it at some point. It's just getting into that busy time of year.
You could do like me and my wife did. We went to Australia, and she was really excited because all along when we were dating, I said, if I ever go on a honeymoon, the only place I'd really want to go is Australia. So
Yeah.
like the next day, she's like, hey, does this mean we get to go to Australia? And I was like, yeah, sure. Awesome. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And about 15 minutes into research, she said, you said you'd only go during December. Is that because there's sprint car racing down there? And I said, if I ain't going to sprint car racing, I ain't going in Australia.
Oh my goodness.
So
No,
to bring it back a little bit.
That is awesome. So I didn't know sprint car racing was big. And
It's huge in Australia. Absolutely, yeah. There's my first one.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So what are we looking forward to the most this year? I mean, obviously it's exciting having Brown broke. That picture got me excited. We're gonna have at least one All-American for sure, right? We're gonna have a repeat there.
Yeah.
Call your shot. What do we see for dual record or All-Americans? What do you think, Cody? I mean, obviously you believe in all your guys. But,
yeah, 100%. There is no one else I'd rather go to battle with than these guys. This team is special, and truly, I believe in all of them, and excited to see what they can do. As far as things that I'm looking forward to, I'm excited to get out to. We go to the Southern Scuffle this year.
Yeah,
I haven't been out there, so kind of excited to get out there and see some different teams, and even more so just traveling normal with our team again. Some of those road trips and things like that are truly memorable, and it was so weird last year with COVID and the precautions that we had to take. So I'm excited to get on the road, excited to get back in Frost with our fans, and I hope they're all ready to get rowdy and crazy and let's take the roof off that place. We'll do some construction early before the construction. Let's get rowdy and make it really tough on our opponents. So those are things I'm looking forward to. I expect multiple All-Americans. That is the expectation now. Hey, it's a domino effect, right? And we've had one. Now it's about how high we can climb and who's next up. So
it's kind of like the 4-minute mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cody, since you brought up blowing the doors off, doing some construction at Frost, I gotta ask you, Frost Arena or east, west, north, south, whatever direction it is?
Jordan, didn't you go on the trip with us to West Gym?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be the following question. I got one coming up.
He's got West Gym in his notes. He's just messing with you.
So, definitely Frost, right? I mean, Frost is special, right? To be able to have those mat side seats and people screaming and extremely knowledgeable fans that are truly passionate about it. So Frost 100%. West Gym is awesome. It is a smaller venue. It's hot and those people are right on top of you. But I gotta go with Frost. We truly missed it last year, not being able to have that same atmosphere, and we're excited to get back in there. So
we got a write-in question again. It's Matt, and he's asking if Cook's healthy, and he says a cement mixer could help with the construction, perhaps.
that is the truth, and I know he's got some cement mixers and high flyers waiting. So whoever is next up can expect for some fireworks. So he's healthy. He's feeling good. He's training hard, and I know he is excited to start competing. So
definitely a fan favorite.
100%.
Them guys know it's coming, and they still can't help but
do
get caught.
anything.
It's awesome. It really is.
Can't do anything about it.
Beauty.
And it's tight and brutal. I've rolled around with Tanner a few times. I'm a little bit bigger than him. Okay, I'm like 30 or 40 pounds.
Quite a bit.
But I remember the first time that he tried to do like his high flyer to me, and it was tight. It was something like I hadn't felt before, and I knew that if I didn't use a little bit of strength and pick him up off the mat and put him down, I was definitely going to my back. So I can see how guys continue to get pinned from that hold.
So, little story here.
Oh,
Like you said earlier, 2019, I traveled with you guys a little bit. We go into UNI there. I'm sitting in the seat right next to you guys. I'm on press row or whatever, writing for the collegiate. And you could just tell your nerves were like through the roof. Like you were zoned in. And one story I remember is the clock didn't stop. I think the clock ran for like 5 or 6 seconds after or something. I looked over at you and go, Cody, the clock never stopped. And you turn and look at me and you go, I don't care. It was in our favor. I gotta ask, you were so worked up that night. Is that the most worked up you've ever been in the coaching corner, or stressed out in the zone, ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't remember that, Jordan. I don't remember it going exactly like that, but you'd probably know better than me. Yeah, it was emotional. It was intense. It was it was different being on that side, right? I had competed a number of times in West Gym, but to actually be in the corner against the people that I used to wrestle for and compete for was different. It was different and emotional and intense and all of those things, and I was feeling it all at once. And so it was a fun night. So it was definitely the most quiet that I've heard West Gym probably ever. So we wrestled really well, and so it'll continue to be a good rivalry.
Looking at their coach's interview after the match, I think he did not want to lose to you either from the way that he talked about. I still go listen to that interview every once in a while.
Yeah.
If you've never listened to it, go look it up. The 2019 UNI SDSU duel. Schwab had some interesting comments after on Flow Wrestling on what he thought his team needed to do better.
Yeah, he's definitely a competitive individual. One of the most intense guys that I've ever met, and he doesn't like to lose. And he spoke his mind, and yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You invest so much time and effort into these individuals and things like that, and it can be frustrating, right? If guys aren't doing the things you're working on, or giving the effort that you expect them to, or not doing some of those things. It's frustrating, right? Because you have a vested interest, and emotions run high, and it is this sport is unforgiving.
So, going back to the cement mixers here, I got one more question for you here.
I'm always a little nervous when Jordon asks me questions because he was a little bit on the inside there for a while. So
that's the best thing about having him on the pod, you know. You guys just got to give me that inside access, and then I can ask those questions.
I know, too. Right? You know, that's why I'm a little bit nervous. You know, being on those road trips and things like that.
Back to your cement mixer, back to Jordon. You kind of cut out there. I don't know. We didn't catch that. So if you'd like to repeat that.
How many? If you had to do an over and under, what would you say for a cement mixer for Tanner Cook this year? How many pins does he get with it?
I'm gonna say 5, at least.
Just 5.
Because you know what, I see some more high flyers happening, but also he has developed some different unique wrestling skills, right? That you know, he's dangerous upper body. He's you know, from front head he's tough to wrestle, and he has instilled the fear of of getting pinned in many individuals. So I'll say at least 5, but it'll be more. So looking forward to getting him out there and competing again.
So we're going to want to respect your time and keep this close to an hour. We got a couple more questions for you. Can you tell me a little bit about how the wrestling season went with COVID and how you guys dealt with that and the processes, and maybe has that changed anything for the program for the better, or going forward, has that changed how things are going to be done? Obviously COVID's still around, so not including that specifically, but you want to touch on that for me?
Yeah, it was definitely different. It was a lot of change. You know, we had multiple practices. You know, we had 3 separate groups that were practicing, trying to kind of keep guys isolated, so that, hey, if a group did pop for COVID and everyone in that group got contact traced, well, we could at least still put together a team. So we took a lot of precautions, and honestly, it paid off, right? We didn't have to cancel any competitions or things like that. Guys did a really good job of kind of being cautious, and you know, we kept everyone here over Christmas, which is hard, right? I mean, that's a time that they're usually with their family and you know, get away from wrestling a little bit, and we felt like it was in our best interest to keep them here rather than sending them back home to who knows who they're going to be around, and bringing all of that back. And you know, we tried to make it a family atmosphere here and celebrate Christmas together as a team. But yeah, it was different. You know, we were testing 3 times a week, and just all the different ins and outs. I'm sure it was a nightmare for our athletic trainer and medical staff. But yeah, hopefully moving in the right direction as far as normalcy. It will still be something that is dealt with as we proceed to competition. Those that aren't vaccinated are going to have to test 3 times a week, or 1 PCR test. So there's still going to be that. If they're not vaccinated, they can be contact traced, and which means they're sitting out at least 5 days. So it's definitely still going to be something that is to be dealt with. And you know, I feel like after navigating this past year that you know, we're well equipped to deal with the challenges in front of us. But you know, who knows? Expect the unexpected.
Jordon, you got any last questions for Coach?
Yeah, I got so this year I'm part of the Rabbit Den, which some people know, some people don't. It's the official student section. And we're trying to find traditions. We came up with the wave for the football game. That's went good. You and I does the Panther train. What do you think the wrestling team should start doing for a cool tradition?
Everybody wear bib overalls.
That's got to be that's a must. Bib overalls.
I would be down for that.
I know you would.
Sorry. I'm a big bib overall guy, so sorry to cut you off there.
No, I love it. I love it. Well, our kind of slogans get jacked, so I don't know how you make that into like something that everybody's flexing. I don't know what it is, but I guess I don't have a good answer for you. I mean, that's why you're in the rabbit den. You're supposed to come up with these great ideas. We just want people there. We want people loud. We want people rowdy. We want to make it an absolutely chaos for that opposing team. And there were some times, 2 years ago when that place just went crazy. And we need people. We need our students to be there and be there in full force. Well, a question for you is, what do we need to do to help encourage students to come to matches and things like that?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. I'm in the middle of trying to figure that out myself right now. I don't have
Yeah,
the answer yet, or we'd be sold out.
for sure. And
I think it takes getting students to a match that haven't really watched wrestling before. I mean, I know you weren't asking me, but
no,
wrestling's an awesome sport, and there's so many people that just don't really know it or understand it. And if they come to Frost, see the electric atmosphere, get bought in a little bit, they'd catch that fever, I think. That's
Yeah.
just
I think
my view on it.
you're definitely right.
I always ask people, hey, you ever go to wrestling? And they're always like, no, I don't. Well, what I tell them is, well, come. And they said, well, I don't know what's going on. I said, you just watch me. If I'm jumping up and down, you scream.
Jump up and
If I'm screaming, you might as well just be quiet because you're going to be lost. Because something ain't going right.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had some awesome crowds, and that student section kind of can set it apart. And so we're open to different giveaways and things like that, to entice kids to be there. But I think you're right, Chad. Just getting them there that first time is the biggest thing, and hook them a little bit.
Well, unless Jordan has anything else, I want to thank you for your time. We're a little over an hour. Jordan, do you have one last thing?
Nope, I'm good. I just want to say thank you, Cody, and sorry to anybody if I was cutting out here. To answer Matt's question, I'm on the way to Texas to Devil's Bowl for some races this weekend to get the last one in. So thank you guys, and sorry if I cut out.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everybody about the Track the Jack. Feel free to plug that there, Cody.
Yeah, for sure. Track the Jack. Every Wednesday, 7:30 social at the 9 bar. Then 8:30 there's a drawing. The weekly winner gets 10% of the weekly ticket sales, and then if you draw the jack, you're getting 50% of the pot. So it's getting bigger. There you go.
That was the wrong one. Sorry. I think it's $9,000 some dollars now, right?
Yeah, it's over $9,000 now. So hey, let's build that thing up and continue to let the pot grow, and somebody can win some good money. So, and come hang out with us and chat at if you're around Brookings Wednesday at the 9 bar. So I just want to go ahead.
I was just going to put one more plug out. We have the Rabbit Rant, the other podcast. Want to plug those guys. They're doing great work. Appreciate what they're doing, and go ahead with what you were going to say there.
I really like this video feed. That's nice. You can actually see expressions. It's a little bit different when it's just
it's very hard to do when it's audio only.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You can't really. It's easier to walk all over each other for sure. But
yeah.
Thanks for your time, and just hold on there. We're gonna end the stream. Thanks for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one more question. Oh, my bad.
Well, I just thought we were talking Track the Jack. Tubby luncheons, are they going to start them again this year? Do you know?
Yes. We're going to start the week of the Bison Open. So Wednesdays at noon. So we'll be follow our social medias, and we'll have all that information out there, and come hang out and get predictions from Coach Hahn and things like that. But I wanted to thank both of you guys. Your support does not go unnoticed. It's greatly appreciated, and we love having you in our corners, and really excited to do this thing together. So get jacked.
Get jacked. All right. Hold on there for just a second.